I was going to do a video today on a bit of a sneak peek of something I've got in the works. I bought a few of these Triple S 56 154 motors, 154 millimeters long, a little while back, and I've been thinking about something what I can put one or two in. I've got a big cat out the back that I've never been fitted out, so I think I'll put it into that. I think I'll put two of them. They are very heavy. I don't think we've got around to listing any on the website, but we've got a few. Even the cooler is, you know, bigger than your hand, and that, you know, doesn't even cover the whole thing. But yeah, it's something like I think it works out to like 27 horsepower each. So imagine if I put two of these in a boat, 50 plus horsepower. I don't know. That's what I was going to do today. Have a little talk about this and see where I could fit these or whatever, but that's not going to happen. Instead, I thought I'll just finish or do one more in this Proboat series, the version 3. One of our good customers actually gave us these battery trays that he printed up. Next time he buys something, he's going to need some free things, because he wouldn't take any money for this. Nice guy. His name was Alan. Apparently you can print these up from makerworld.com. So it's the version 3 trays. He actually made us two different materials. This is the standard material that, like, we built a boat out of this, and we left it in the sun one day, and the deck started to melt, so they're no good with heat at all. He made another one out of, I think that's called PLA, and this one is PETG-HF, more temperature resistant. So this is what I think we need. So if you don't have a printer, or you're like me and you've got a printer and wouldn't know how to use it, if you don't have Brock to do all that stuff for you, I'm going to get some of these made up, probably in carbon fiber or something like that, just so we can just have them on the website so people can just buy them. So I haven't fitted one yet. So what we've been doing is running this piece of foam to lift the batteries up from the edges there, so it doesn't cut into the battery. So we will lose the ability to just rip the thing in and out, but it's a great idea, and I've never had it jumped out yet in a couple of crashes. It can be a bit hard to get your hand in there, so we won't have the advantage of getting it in and out quick, but we won't have to muck around with the foam, and we'll be able to fit whatever size battery we want on there, because I do want to do a little project and put a 10S capable speed controller in there and just see what happens. We've got a 1350 kV 40mm motor. 10S is it's ideal for 8S. 10S, you know, maybe for short runs. It's not something I would recommend, but you know, I'll probably do it just for a video, see how that goes. If it doesn't like it, it doesn't like it. It's better for me to blow stuff up than you guys do it. Pretty straightforward to put that in. It is higher, like it's quite thick. I guess it needs to be a little bit thicker than this, but if you're not running the factory batteries in you have to use something like that to make it level. It's no thicker at all, so it works out to be the same. So it's just a matter of just bolting it in. So I guess if you got a printer, makerworld.com is probably worth getting. What do we got here? So the two 4S packs. I'll pop them in there. Nice. I can slide them wherever I want. I could have mounted it forward as well, but I've never even tried moving the tray forward, because I know this is where it needs to be. I guess probably the next run I'll do will be 10S, so that's a 6S pack. So that's 10S there, so that would work. I mean, do two 6S packs run in there? I mean, would you run a boat this small on 12S? Wouldn't be the smartest thing to do with it. And there's a plastic, don't forget, but that does fit pretty nice. Right, I was going to stop the video there, but it doesn't seem really fair, does it? I've just all I've done is just bolted something in. So maybe we'll put this 10S capable speed controller in here, or see if I've got room to fit that in there. ZTW 200 amp ones are 4 to 8S. The 300 amp ones are way too big. You know, they're high voltage as well, but it's just way too big and way too heavy. But they do make these 160 amps, and they're 6 to 14S, and they have a BEC in them, which means you don't have to run a separate battery pack, which is unusual for a high voltage speed controller. What have we got? So let's see if we can get this one in there easily. And if I can, we'll do that as well. Right. Okay. So she's longer, but it's not wider. If anything, it's less wide. And for heavier packs, you know, if you're going to have to run a heavy 6S pack next to a 4S pack, you're going to want your weight back anyway. These are quite long, so it's going to be hard to get the loop happening here with this in the way. But I think we can figure something out. I mean, the other option is, of course, you go over here, which might be simpler and easier. I mean, if you put it there, you can forget about the rollover function ever working, but it doesn't work anyway on this boat, so it doesn't matter. One way or another, I've got to pull that speed controller out anyway, so let's just start there. I mean, I was talking about that big motor before. Maybe I should just try and fit this one in there. So that's the 40mm motor, and this is the 56 that's more than double the length, as well as 16mm bigger. Yeah, that'd be something, wouldn't it? Now I can tell you from experience that the little lugs on these speed controllers break so easily. So I haven't broken this one, I've never had this one out, but if you do break one, it's not the end of the world. Alright, so there we have it. I will be putting this all back in, by the way, too. I actually love the way this boat is standard. Like 100 kilometers an hour is fine. I don't need a boat that can do 120 or more and chew up your batteries in half the time. I like that it's, you know, ultra reliable, decent runtime. I don't have the space to be running boats that can go any faster than this anyway, without, you know, going a long way to find a lake big enough. We're in South Australia, so South Australia is the driest state in the driest inhabited continent in the world. So our water options are not great. Okay. When you think about putting your weight on this, like leaning your weight on this side, it's exactly opposite of what you should be doing with any mono. If you've ever got a normal mono, you should always put all your extra weight, if there's going to be any, on this side, because that's the way it turns. And if you have it over here, that's why they hop around the corners, you know. If you have it in here, it's more likely to go around the corner flat. So I do like it being there better. And I think I could fit it over here. There is room. I could do that. And then I could run my cooling tube around the back of that. What would I do to mount it? Oh, I could easily mount it. I could just cable tie it, or use a battery strap. I've got one here. I could use a strap or two, you know, around there, onto there. So that would be so easy to mount it there. I'll have a think about it. I'll go and do my soldering, come back and then weigh up what I'm going to do. I think these are it's either 6 or 6.5 mil. And this quick little job to mount a battery tray is turning into something a bit more involved than I was planning. But it keeps me out of doing proper work, I suppose. Don't have to be in the warehouse. Alright, I can't even remember where I was in this video before I started all that soldering, but we had 6.5 mil terminals on this. I don't have the female version of that, so I've changed them to 8, which is overkill, but you don't want to go from 6 down, so we'll go up. 8 mil on my speed controller, and I'll put a QS8 on there. Kind of need that for anything over 6S, or it just destroys your battery terminals. 8S you can get away with it without the spark thing, but 10 and 12S you just have to. It just ruins everything. Okay, I mean, halfway through doing this I'm thinking, why aren't I changing the motor as well? I'm doing everything else, but I'm not changing the most important thing. But then I've got to remember that the goal of this video is to show people what you have to do to run 10S if you want to run it on this. So like I said, I'm not recommending you do this for very long. I'm a low kV big prop kind of guy, but just as cheap as possible, just speed controller and a couple of terminals. Let's see what result we get out of that. I'm just going to put one of these little extensions in here just so I never have to take this lid off again unless the boat gets wet. I don't want to be taking it off to change the speed controller back. Just do a little as minimum work as possible. And when you know it, just to make a little bit extra work, this is the type that's got that little thing there. So I can't push him in. So I've got to go and shave that off. Prefer to see the weight of the speed controller over here, like I said before, but most people are going to be more interested in the rollover function. So I've just done it like that. It's probably taken an hour, and a lot of that was the soldering time really. So it was pretty simple to do. We'll take it out tomorrow and see what it goes like. Put a smaller prop on there, obviously, and try not to blow anything up on the first run.